Previously on Matinee Prices.
Well, you got to throw out a big net to catch the fish that she was bagging.
And now, Season 3.
Sometimes I see the world in color. Sometimes it's black and white. But everything's not always going to be great. Sometimes it's just going to be alright. We're 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 alright. Love and life, they come and go. If you give his life your love will grow. But still everything will always be alright. Sometimes it's just going to blow.
All right, welcome back to Matinee Prices. This is Season 3. As you can see, we've got new digs, new location,
New set.
everything is new.
$50.
Got a corner
For
now?
everything, the shop
There's a
corner.
corner.
We've got
Three dimensions.
We've got a separate chair for our special guests, and on this week's episode, and as we mentioned in last season, this season it's the season of VizArt Video, where we all used to work. So we're gonna have former employees as guests, and Jeremy is.
He's not an employee or a guest. He just got lost and wandered in here.
And I think I did the math on this
But
right. Between the three of us, I think we have about 30 years experience
That's
at
about
VizArt.
what's going to be right, yeah.
I mean, you and I worked at VizArt back in the 1900s.
I was 99. I started in 99, man.
Yeah.
99.
We were
So
there.
you were what? You were like 12 years? 11, 12 years?
Not 14.
Four-
I started like in late '95 and was there till the end.
I was
14
10.
years.
And then this is
I'm the new.
He's
the newbie.
Yeah,
Newbie.
I was only like 8.
Yeah, he only worked there for 8 years. So there you go. But Jeremy wrote a book. If we could throw that up.
Last
Jeremy
Days of
wrote a
Video.
book called The Last Days of Video, and it was kind of inspired by working at VizArt Video.
Absolutely.
Or me, in other words.
Yeah.
I inspired him.
Huru is the inspiration for every single character in the entire book.
And yet they're all white.
They're all white. And all that straight, boring hair.
Did it just to piss me off.
There you go.
He said he would.
Yeah.
He followed through on it.
I highly recommend this book. It's hilarious. It's if you ever worked in a video store or just miss video stores, the kind of culture of the video stores, you will love this book. It's hilarious and it's a really good read. And if you're watching this, good chance you live in the Carborough area. And there's lots of little shout outs to places in Carborough and things that are specific to Carborough
And Chapel Hill.
and Chapel Hill. So check it out. You'll really appreciate it. Last Days of Video, written by Mr. Jeremy Hawkins. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about some of the things that were kind of the inspiration for his book, or little things that you can see in his book. So we're going to start out with the two obvious ones. When I read it, I thought Clerks and High Fidelity. And High Fidelity is even mentioned in the book.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is hilarious.
And
Because the whole thing was like, the guy is like, I hate High Fidelity because John Cusack should have never been cast as that role.
Yeah. I think,
It was hilarious. But, Clerks and High Fidelity. Clerks, I'm sure everybody knows about Clerks, but at this point, Clerks is over 20 years old.
God.
And so now this movie, it came out in like 93. It's almost 25 years old.
Jeez.
There's more distance between Clerks and today than there is between Clerks and the original Star Wars.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Wow.
That'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
But Clerks, two guys who work one of them works at a convenience store, one of them works at a video store, and it's just their day-to-day shenanigans and
Episode 1.
adventures. Episode 4. Star Wars, the original.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't count. Nobody
And
watches
this movie was Kevin Smith's first movie, and it introduced the world to all the Kevin Smith characters, and it's really good. It shows what someone can do. It's like that Ed Wood mentality. It shows like what you can do with just a few $1,000s and like the desire to make a movie. Like he was like, I want to make a movie, so he went out and made a movie. And now Kevin Smith, like we mentioned previously, Kevin Smith is like transcended. He's like become a full-on like pop culture icon.
Yeah.
And it all started with this movie that he made by maxing out his credit cards and casting his friends and shooting like black and white. The camera, I don't think the camera moves at all, and like every shot is like
it's all static.
It's all static.
Yeah, it's all static.
And is it that this movie that he bought the camera on a credit card and then returned it?
I think so, yeah.
He used it in the
And
movie?
he got it pre-approved for like 5 credit cards, maxed them all out, and it was like either. It was like a big roll of the dice. He's like, either like this will work and I'll get a career out of it, or I'll be spending the rest of my life paying off this credit card bill.
Yep.
But I really admire the balls that he had to make this movie.
Well, it still holds up as a movie too.
And it's still
it's still really funny, and then
it's quotable.
It does this. It's amazing that it goes from absurdly funny, all the sort of stuff that we expect from Kevin Smith, but then there are actually some pretty genuine moments.
And it gets kind of dark.
It's really dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, only I think it's like 3 minutes of the movie take place in the video store. Most of it takes place.
Yeah. But when you look back on it, you think about like
everybody thinks it's
a
like
movie
a
set
video
in a
store.
video store.
But it's all in the convenience
It's all
store.
in the convenience store. And but yeah, so Clerks, check it out. Maybe there's some people out there who have never seen it, or maybe you just haven't seen it in a while, and you're not digging on Kevin Smith's more recent stuff. So go back and revisit some of his old stuff.
I do want to say about Clerks that if, just to say hypothetically, you are writing a novel about a video store, and you tell people that you write this novel about a video store, literally every single person says Clerks.
Brings up
Clerks. Every single person.
Yeah.
And it was in many ways like this movie was like the bane of my existence.
I'm sure.
And I watched it in high school, and I think I watched it like really early when I was in college when I started working at Bizarre, but then I didn't watch it for like over 10 years before, because I didn't want it to influence my book too much. I didn't want it to be derivative of it, even though like you just watch that movie once and it's like in your head.
Yep.
I wasn't trying to like recreate a Clerks or a High Fidelity, so I actually didn't watch either of these two movies at all, or Empire Records. That was sort of the other one.
Okay.
I
That's
didn't.
cool.
I waned my thing to like be its own
wanted-
thing, and if
wanted
nobody
to
ever
be-
says that my book is like the Clerk of novels, it'll be too soon.
Yeah. That's understandable.
I was trying to escape that, but thank you.
But I see what you're saying. Like, I mean, that was when I was reading it. I mean, you're right. Like almost none of the movie actually takes place in a video store. But when I was reading it, but it was more like
I think it's more.
the way they feel about their customers.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
so so
And the kind of personalities that like shore up in a place like that.
and the kind of back and forth between the two main characters, how
Right.
they kind of speak in movie
And
monologues,
Yeah.
basically.
The counter
Yeah.
is also like kind of like just being behind the counter
Yeah.
and people on one side or the
Right,
other.
absolutely.
That's like
Yeah.
kind of the key.
So Clerks, and then moving on, High Fidelity. I'm sure a lot of people have seen High Fidelity. Directed by Stephen Frears, screenplay by a whole bunch of people, including John Cusack.
Based on the amazing novel by Nick Hornby. It's a fantastic book.
Yeah. The cast: Jack Black, Lisa Bonet, Joan Cusack, Sarah Gilbert, Todd Luiso, Lily Taylor, Natasha Wagner. This is a great movie.
In many ways, like Jack Black's breakout role.
Totally.
He was there, and he was always going to be a thing. But
He was on
yeah.
X-Files before,
Yeah.
but I think this is what catapulted him.
Well, and Cable Guy.
And Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this John Cusack is great in it. It's just a bunch of guys who work in a record store and they just talk about music.
Even if John Cusack is too beefy to be playing this role, it's like Edward G. Robinson. That's
we just used to do that all the time, and I miss those days.
Yes.
So and anybody who's ever worked in a video store, a record store, a used bookstore, anything like that, High Fidelity will.
It'll take you back.
Yeah, and
Though I feel like in the movie, I don't mean to be critical of the movie that you're.
dude,
But
please.
okay, good. Like they're, I mean, I know it's part of the humor, but like they're too snotty, and they're like,
totally.
they're kind of like we. I feel like we as Bizarre employees,
We never went back.
we were not mean to people or not snooty about
Not to their
what
face.
we knew more. No, to their face.
Right.
We had a few who were.
We did have a few.
We
who were.
had
Yeah.
we had like
Yeah.
a few who would be our like
Yeah.
demons or
Some who
hitmen.
might have guest starred on this show.
Yeah. We had a couple of cuddles or slash hitmen.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, we kind of had that. I kept hearing once we closed initially, and you know, like everybody was still like, oh, da 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 da. I would get all the time like going out and out on the street. You guys are snobs, you know that?
we were not.
I've gotten that
so nice.
I've gotten that a couple of times too, and
But you're like, oh, not you, but like other people.
Yeah.
it's like then why did you say it to me?
Yeah.
Like find that person you're talking about and tell him or her. It's like, yeah, don't twist the knife. We're already still hurting from the place closing.
Come on, Carbro.
Come on, Carbro.
God, you guys are snobs.
Yeah.
Like, you're really kind of jerks with the movie.
It's the most snobbiest town in the world. Too.
Yeah, it really
Being
is.
snobs.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But it's like movie store records. It's like there's gonna be an inherent level of like not snobbiness. It's just like people who, for the most part, people who work in these type of stores, like they're doing it because that's their passion.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if someone is going on and on about what an amazing filmmaker someone like Brett Ratner is,
Yeah.
we're sitting like we're literally biting a hole in our
Yeah.
tongue,
Yeah.
you know, because we don't want to jump down your throat and be like, "What are you, stupid?" You know?
Yeah.
But so I don't think we ever did that, and,
No.
and like we could talk about the mainstream. I love mainstream.
I mean,
I
we
love
were-
mainstream movies,
we
and,
were-
and I love the weird stuff too.
Yeah.
But like I don't think we were never like the
No, I
characters
don't
like
think so.
we never went
No.
to that level.
But I mean, at the same time, I'm saying that about the character, and that's part of what's so lovely about the movie and the characters. Those moments are really funny. But I think this movie, more than the other ones we've talked about tonight, it comes from a place of love for music.
Yeah.
In a way that's just a love letter to music.
Yeah.
And I think that
It really
if I
is.
tried to steal something for like my own book, it was that I wanted it to be a love letter to movies. And not like showing off like how much I knew or how much like video store people knew. It was just like
Right.
just coming from a place of pure love for cinema.
There you go.
Pure love.
Love of
Yeah.
cinema.
Mm-hmm.
That's what fueled him to write that book.
And that's also all the money and women that I've gotten from publishing a novel. So much money and so many women.
I'm sure, dude.
That's
I got
why
nothing.
he's here
Yep.
on Matinee Prices.
There you go.
Because he has tons of money. We all do.
Yeah.
Can't you tell?
Living the life.
All right.
So
we got one more there.
Okay,
That's
well,
what
we're
we're
gonna do
going to do a new segment.
We're not gonna-
Well, after that, we're
Oh,
going to to break up.
Saving it for last because it's black.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a new season 3. We wanted to make some changes, and one of the changes is we're going to be introducing a lot of new segments. And
What kind of segments, Cameron?
well, this one is called Snap Decisions.
Oh, snap!
All right. Well, we had for Morty.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So basically the way this works is I'm just going to shout out we're going to go back and forth between the two of y'all. I'm going to shout out 2 movies that are similar in either genre, actor, or director. And you can't take any time to think about it. You just have to say which one you prefer.
All right.
And,
I'm gonna win. I just want to point that
Who
out.
wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, starting
I'm gonna
with,
win.
starting with Jeremy.
Winners
All right,
go first.
Jeremy, Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein?
Blazing Saddles.
Huru, Terminator 1 or Terminator 2?
One. Yeah.
Jeremy, Cape Fear, original or remake?
Original.
Huru, 48 Hours or Trading Places?
Yeah. Trading Places.
Jeremy, Incredibles or Wall-E?
Wally.
True Romance. True Romance or Natural Born Killers?
True Romance.
Correct answer. Yeah.
Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys.
Yep.
Jeremy, Superbad or Pineapple Express?
Pineapple Express. Nah, super bad. I take it back. Darn it!
Huru, Crybaby or Benny and June?
I didn't like either one of those.
Wow.
I mean, not
I
like.
like Benny and June.
I mean,
Wow.
not
Benny and Jim.
hate, but like.
You wouldn't go out of your way to see the one?
Yeah.
It's a perfectly
Okay.
charming movie.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That's his.
Keep going.
All right.
Not charming.
Equalizer or Training Day?
Trained it.
Okay.
Huru, Grapes of Wrath or 12 Angry Men?
12 Angry Men.
Absolutely.
This is a tricky one here. Galaxy Quest or Spaceballs?
Fuck, man. What are you doing? Why would you do
That
that?
was bad.
Why
that
would you do
was
that?
cruel.
I gotta go with Spaceballs, but that is not fair.
That's not.
All right,
that
man,
wasn't
right.
fair.
Last one for Huru.
Yeah.
Roadhouse or Point Break?
Oh my God. Do the right thing.
Good Good answer. Correct answer.
I mean, that
Roadhouse.
There was one
movie
correct
and
answer,
action.
and it was do the right thing.
And it was do the right thing.
Yeah.
Roadhouse.
Thank you. I'm sorry to have defeated you on that the particular competition.
No, I think.
What was the prize again?
Yeah. No, the prize was I win.
Bragging rights.
Alright, cool.
Popcorn. I don't know. So
Popcorn.
yeah, so that was our new segment, and
I'll
we'll
spoil
be doing that again. That was a lot of fun. And so now we're gonna let Jeremy talk about his. Would you say this was like the biggest influence of the book, or just like,
Yeah.
or for the character?
Like the artery.
I would say that it was definitely the biggest influence on the book. So we're going to talk about the amazing BBC sitcom Black Books, starring the great Dylan Moran, great Irish comedian, Bill Bailey and Tasman Grieg, I believe is her name. This came out in the kind of the early 2000s, I would say. Probably it's about 15 years old now.
Yep.
And it's set in a small London bookstore, and it's about the
2002.
drunken Irish owner of a small, crappy bookstore in London. The new employee who he hires, named Manny, and how much they hate each other. And
I love Manny.
Manny's the
I
greatest.
love Manny.
And Fran, their friend, who basically keeps them from killing each other. And besides it being just like an amazing show and just really funny, and it's very British in that it's surreal. It doesn't really take place in the really real world. Like
Right.
off the wall things happen.
Yeah.
I think that it basically for like 10 years I wanted to write a video store novel. Like the second I started working in the late 1990s, working at Vizard, I wanted to write something set in a video store. I just didn't know how to do it, and it honestly, and I also didn't want to waste my chance and do it too early and write a bad novel because I was too
Because then you
young.
can't go back to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was saving it, and then I discovered the show well after it had come out, and I think it was you. I think you gave it to me. I think you said this would be really good.
Yeah.
And so I started watching, and second I started watching, I was like, that's how I want my
You
book to
found
be.
your in, like,
And the way I found it wasn't, so the main character of mine, there are three main characters. One of the main characters is the owner of the bookstore, and he's basically Bernard Black.
Oh, totally.
He's the main character of this show, is the main character of my book. But much more than that, there's a structure of three main characters in my book. So there's the new employee in my book, and then there's also the woman that kind of keeps them from killing each other. And I just I saw that in the show, and I was like, that's how I do it.
Kind of
That's
borrowed the
how I tell
dynamic.
it. Yeah, I stole it. I just stole all of
stole it.
it.
Just
And I
stole
stole the main character. I even named my main character, Bernard Black is the main character. I named my main character Wearing Wax because I wasn't trying to pretend like I wasn't stealing it. I wanted it to be.
And you mentioned it in your the accolades.
yeah, he wasn't trying to be shit. Like, it's mentioned in the flag.
yeah, no,
that it
it's-
was
he
influence.
was like, look.
I'm very honest. Yeah, I've been in the little interviews I've done. I've always bring it up because I just love the show so much. And Graham Linehan is the one of the sort of original creators with Dylan Moran.
And he
Father
also
Ted.
did The Office and The IT Crowd.
He did the IT
which-
Crowd. He didn't do The Office, but
Okay.
he did the IT Crowd.
We love The
Yeah.
IT Crowd.
I mean, he's just an amazing writer, and so I just you steal the good stuff. That's what you do as a writer.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't watched it, especially if you love British things, it is just it is infinitely rewarding. I've watched every episode at least 10 times.
I've seen the entire
Quoted left
series.
or right. I am dressed like Bernard Black today.
Yeah.
Just because I love it so much.
If you can imagine Seinfeld, if you take out Kramer
Yeah.
and inject everything British.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure.
so now you got the three characters.
And George is likable.
And
Yeah, exactly.
British.
Yeah.
So there you go. That sort of dynamic and that type of humor, except British.
Yeah.
And-
Extremely
Yeah.
British.
And Black Books, for me, I kind of came across this at the same time I came across a lot of other shows. Kind of I feel like there was a resurgence of British comedy in kind of the late 90s.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
That I think started with Space.
With Spaced, absolutely.
And then-
I thought Ab Fab was the one.
Well, certainly, yeah.
Well,
They're all-
yeah, but I don't consider that kind of part of these. That was kind of different. It
Oh,
was
no,
British.
it was different.
but
that's
from
what-
that era.
Yeah,
Yeah, and a lot of these people, they would use the same actors. So it was it was Spaced, and then The Office came out, and then
Yeah.
after that you had Garth Marenghi's Dark Place and The Mighty Boosh,
Yeah.
and then you had
Mighty
the
Boosh.
IT Crowd.
So good.
Coupling.
And,
Yeah.
and a lot of them featured the same actors, like the guy who plays Moss on the IT Crowd was
Yeah.
also on Dark
Who I
Place.
hear is in the running for the next Doctor Who.
And he's
by the
in
way,
my-
guys.
and he's in
He
the
was
Mighty
in the running
Boosh.
for the last one.
He's still in the running.
Well, yeah.
We'll
So.
see.
He's a great actor.
He's amazing. And
Yeah.
speaking of Spaced, that was actually another pretty big influence on my book, or at least how I wanted to approach the movie, because that
Oh, really?
that movie just revels in pop culture,
Yeah, that's
in,
true.
in a way that's just it's a love letter to pop culture, and
Oh, yeah, all the
that's,
shots
that's just,
to,
that's
like-
just what. That's
And it was like that specific era. So
Yeah.
it's if you're a little bit older, it's good to go back and watch it.
I'm not older
because of all the
These guys
references to
are.
like Buffy was still like a new
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And so like whenever he would wake up from a nightmare, he would go
Yeah.
Buffy, and all the references to like Gillian Anderson and the
Yeah.
X-Files. And
Yeah, they love Gillian Anderson. in England.
Yeah,
they love her. I love her too.
Yeah.
well, she is British.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
Yeah,
I don't care where she's from.
she's
I
awesome.
like you just glazed.
Big
over
shout out to
everything.
Gillian Anderson.
She's British.
Gillian.
Don't care. Just love.
She's somewhere right now being awesome.
and the guy who voiced Darth Maul
Yeah.
was also.
Oh yeah, Peter Serafinowicz. Yeah, he was on Space, and then
Yeah.
he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and has been in tons of other movies.
Yeah.
And he's blowing up. Like all those guys, they were in this little clique of shows, and now they're like the guy who played Roy on the IT Crowd is gone up. He was in.
He
was in Bridesmaids and
yeah.
the first Thor, and he was in Sapphires.
blown
Like
up,
all these
yeah.
guys are blowing up.
He was
Yeah.
like on the cover of Rolling Stone or Spin or something
What?
like that. Yeah, like
Nice.
one of those major.
An Irish person on rolling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Bono.
Yeah. There we go. Fair enough.
Boom.
I'll just be quiet over here. But Black Book's an amazing show. I think
It
everybody
really is.
should.
We
check it
actually, Jeremy and I actually bonded. Like I had a new employee that came. Jeremy was working at another store, but at the Carborough store, a new employee came in.
out. I'm gonna see if he tells the entire story.
And
I'll
he
just let
and
you
he goes no, and he goes. It's his turn to pick. I'm like, all right, newbie, you can pick whatever you want. And he
He's
goes and
hazing
picks,
me.
and he goes, Black Books. And I was like, what the heck is this? He's like, oh, it's this British blah 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 blah. I was like, whatever, da da da. And 5 minutes in,
What was it? What employee?
Angus. This was
Angus.
Angus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I
so-
missed that kid.
Yeah.
So
That guy.
So then Jeremy finally gets there, bumps his head on the freaking doorway as he comes in.
Every
'cause he's
door.
super tall.
Every day.
And I'm like, who's this joker? They're like, get out of here, da da da. And I'm like, I didn't want to talk to him. And then he was like, fine. And he throws on Black Books. He's like, Black Books, you watch Black Books? And then I was
it's like
like,
it's
yeah.
one of those shows that's like the secret handshake.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
or like with the IT crowd, I've seen people have shirts. It's just a computer screen, and it says, "Have you tried turning it off and on?"
Yeah.
And when you see a shirt like that, you can be like, "I don't even know you, and already we're friends."
I had a T-shirt that's done in, it looks like Schroeder.
Yeah.
Except it's him in front of a computer.
Nice.
With the hair and the
Moss.
glasses.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cameron, look.
And I didn't get it.
He did-
And like and,
took it
and then
like-
I killed I hated myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I should have gotten it immediately.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
didn't. But
He
I'm
stared
like,
at it. He's like, I said, I'm like, you're gonna hate yourself. And when I tell you,
And he was right.
And he was like, tell me. And I went, turn it on and off again. He was like,
I lost a lot of like street cred that day, or nerd cred. None of us have street cred.
No.
But I lost all my movie nerd cred that day. But Black Books, check it out. Also, like I said, Space, Little Britain would be another really
absolutely,
great one.
yeah.
If you're a fan of Portlandia, which I am, and I'm not bagging on Portlandia, but Portlandia just like literally took Little Britain's concept and like
Absolutely.
structure
Yeah.
and completely just did an American version. It's fine, and obviously and one of the guys from Little Britain has guested on Portlandia,
Oh, really?
so they're cool with it. You
Yeah.
know, obviously, and again, I love Portlandia, but if you're a fan of Portlandia, I highly recommend checking out Little Britain. It's like literally the exact same show,
yeah.
except in England.
And
Yeah,
very British.
yeah,
All these are very British.
yeah, and it's got that kind of Kids in the Hall, Monty Python
Sure,
thing where the
yeah.
men play all the women
Yeah, yeah.
characters, and it's like it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's our last days of video episode, and we're gonna end with.
Can I say really quickly before
Oh,
we
yeah,
go
yeah.
that I remember where are you going? We're in the
keep
middle
going.
of it.
Yeah,
We're in the middle of a
keep
show.
going.
We're in the middle of it.
It's just, he doesn't care about what
I'm
you
just
say.
gonna go. I'm just gonna, oh, you're back now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I just want. Oh, this is perfect because we can toast to it. I want to say that in y'all's first episode, you guys at the end of the episode broke, and then camera came on, and he did a little commercial for my book. And
He lost the bet, by the way. So that's why he had to do it.
that's why he had to do it. It kind of put as a damper on my story. It's not like you lost the
Well,
bet
if
to
I had
plug my
won the
book.
bet, I would have gotten to do it naked.
Oh, good.
So we all kind of
We all lost. We really did. No, but you guys, it was such a touching thing for you guys to support me in my book, and this is just really wonderful to be
Well,
here.
like
So thank you
I was
guys.
saying earlier, I've always loved those shows where at the end they would be like, if
Yeah.
you'd like to learn more about
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to do that, and we actually have an excuse to do it. So yeah, I did this thing where it's like, if you'd like to learn more about videos, check out this video stores, check out this book.
So what he's saying is we were really mocking you.
Yeah, no,
Totally.
I know that you guys, yes,
But-
I know
but-
that you don't like me.
But bad press is good press.
You know that I
No
don't
such
like
thing
you.
as bad publicity. As I was saying, okay, so you can see what I'm doing now is I'm getting ready for a brand new segment. This is,
Illegal?
what did we have the idea for this? The awards, the underappreciated underdog award or something?
The underdog,
Overlooked.
The Blair Underwood Award.
Kinda, yeah. Like the overlooked underdog.
The Overlooked Underdog Award.
Yeah.
This is basically, Huru and I, we've discussed this on several other episodes. We have a fondness, a soft spot in our heart for like the character actors who just pop up in a bunch of movies, but they're never like the star.
Or shows.
Yeah, or shows,
Yeah.
but they work constantly, and every time you see them, you're like, oh, it's that guy. And just their presence, however big or small it is,
Or girl.
or girl,
Right.
thank you,
Yeah.
can make a movie or a show that much better. And Huru came up with the idea, because it was kind of loosely based on what they used to do at the MTV,
MTV
these
Awards.
Vanguard Awards. Got a list of people that we're going to be awarding throughout this series, throughout this season. But Huru came up with a great one to start out with. Basically, him coming up with this, the idea to like give it up to this guy spun into the concept of us doing these kind of underappreciated underdog award, overlooked underdogs or whatever, the Blair Underwood Awards. So, Huru, tell us who we're going to discuss on this show.
You done? Okay.
Wait, no, I'm not done.
Okay. Blair Underwood is a black man. No. So, Al Leong, Asian American stuntman, martial artist, actor. Look at you, all around badass. Well, I can agree with that. We're flashing his picture up now.
Yeah.
This dude,
That guy.
you've seen him if you've been watching movie or TV in the past. What?
35 years.
35 years, you've seen him. We're talking like Greatest American Hero, Twilight Zone, Heart to Heart, Hunter, Magnum P.I., The Equalizer, Fall Guy, T.J. Hooker.
And that's just a truncated list of his credits.
You know, like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Genghis Khan. He was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
He was Genghis Khan.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you want a Twinkie, Mr.
Yeah.
Khan? They tipped him into the time machine with a Twinkie. And then he has that where the scene in the mall where he has a baseball bat and he's trolling it around.
I mean, like, Last Action Hero, Escape from L.A., 24, Deadwood.
Iconically, I think he was the guy that tortured Mel Gibson in the first
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon.
Mhm.
Hit him again, Endo. You know? But
So we're gonna
what's
toast
that
him.
guy? So we're gonna
With
give a
what are we
shot
toasting
to,
with?
to Al Leong.
What are we toasting him with?
We are toasting with the official Matinee Prices whiskey,
Available at liquor stores.
available in my kitchen.
on our website.
I
which
don't
is also
know
in
what the hell am I drinking?
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah.
All right, and to Al Leong.
Leong. Yeah, that's
That's whiskey.
smooth.
That's some stuff
That's
right
some
there.
stuff right there.
And we're gonna cut it there with the alcoholism for the show of Matinee Prices. Our first episode of all Vizart all the time.
All
First
Vizart,
episode of season
all the
3.
time.
All the time.
Yeah. So.
Jeremy all the time.
Yeah, and come back next week. Jeremy will be joining us again. Next week we're gonna do.
He lost a bet.
I lost a terrible bet. I will be naked. That
Yeah.
was this bet. I will be naked.
In keeping with the theme of us having an actual
I didn't mean to like drive down
published,
your clicks on that, but they're gonna.
in the theme of having an actual published author as our show on next week's episode, movies based on books.
Yep.
So tune in and keep watching movies and keep reading books.
And keep reading books.
And in the words of the immortal Bernard Black, you can get a job and Work out your life anytime. The pub closes in 5 hours.
Yeah, I see you.
It's the Baxter Show.
It's the Baxter Show.